Hello, English learners. Welcome back to another advanced lesson here at English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
And today we're going to be back in the office.
That's right. We are listening in as somebody gets a little bit of trouble from their boss for being a bit late on a project.
All right, so we're going to be at the office. Somebody misses a deadline. And so, well, how do you handle the situation? What can you do to explain yourself?
And what language can you actually use to talk about missed deadlines and late work?
All right, so let's see why this person missed the deadline, and let's find out what happens.
And so I just wanted to check in with you and find out where we are with this project. As you know, you missed a fairly significant deadline last week, and this will negatively impact the team's ability to move forward with the next stages of this project.
I know. I'm really sorry that I missed the deadline, but really, it wasn't my fault. You see, we had all of these unexpected technical problems at the last minute, and I couldn't get into the database and extract the kind of information that I needed for the data analysis. You know, if the tech guys would have done their job and kept the CRM stable, then I wouldn't have missed my deadline.
Oh, come on. An excuse like that is tantamount to lying. You're essentially blaming the tech team for your time management issues rather than accepting responsibility for the fact that you were procrastinating for the past 2 weeks.
No, I'm not trying to pass the buck here. I know it was me who was ultimately responsible for getting this done. But the thing is, I could have finished on time if the system hadn't gone down. And you know, with everything I've got going on now, I can't afford to waste time dealing with technical problems. I've got a lot on my plate, and there are only 24 hours in a day.
I'm not going to accept this excuse. You're using these small technical glitches as a crutch and trying to rationalize the fact that you've missed your deadline. Look, we have standards, and I expect you to live up to those standards. No more phony excuses. If you're in over your head, you tell me. No more missed deadlines. Now, I want that data on my desk by 9 a.m.
Well, it sounds like this guy isn't really accepting a lot of the responsibility for his missed deadline.
Yeah, exactly. Well, apparently he's explaining that it wasn't only his fault, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. So some technical problems, but you know, he used a lot of pretty interesting language, and I think it'll help us to look at that now in language takeaway.
Language takeaway.
All right, so on language takeaway today, we have 5 words, and let's start with the first one.
All right, well, the boss is not really happy with the excuse that the employee was giving, and he said an excuse like that is tantamount to lying.
Tantamount.
Tantamount to something.
Okay, so if an excuse like that is tantamount to lying, what is he trying to say here?
Basically, it's the same as, or it's almost the same as.
So similar to.
Mm-hmm.
So if I say tantamount to something else, how would I use it?
You know, Marco, taking my computer without asking is tantamount to stealing.
Okay, so even though I'm not actually stealing it or taking it home with me, it is almost like stealing.
Yeah, and the interesting grammatical thing here is that we almost always use a gerund right after. So tantamount to verb ing.
Okay, tantamount to stealing, tantamount to lying, tantamount to killing.
Okay. Well, on that happy note, let's go on to our next word. Now, the boss was really unhappy with the employee for procrastinating.
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 So the verb is to procrastinate.
Mm-hmm. And when you procrastinate, you say, oh, I'll do it later. I'll do it tomorrow.
Okay, so you kind of delay things or you leave it for another day.
Yep.
All right, very good. So to procrastinate.
Mm-hmm. A favorite verb amongst college students.
I actually thought for a little while that procrastinate was to have babies.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of similar.
Yeah.
What's the word?
Procreate.
Procreate. See?
Yeah.
So for a while, I always thought that procrastinate was like having babies. Like, why are you procrastinating? And I'm like, I'm not.
Well, glad you got that straight.
So yes, our listeners, procrastinate is not the same as procreate.
Okay.
I learned that the hard way.
Yes. Well, it sounds like you had a little bit of a glitch in your understanding of language, and that's our next phrase. So in the dialogue, they were talking about some glitches with the system.
A glitch in the system.
Okay, so a glitch.
Now, this is common among computers, right? A glitch is an error.
Right. So when you're talking about a glitch and you're talking about computers, it's an error, a mistake. But we also use it to talk about any unexpected problem, a small unexpected problem.
Okay, so a small glitch.
Yeah. There was a glitch in our plan and we arrived 10 minutes late.
Or I can say this movie has a glitch in the story.
So there's a small problem in the story that doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
All right, so the employee was blaming his lateness on these small technical glitches, but the boss didn't believe this, right? Mm-hmm. The boss said, "You're trying to rationalize the fact that you missed the deadline."
Okay, to rationalize.
To rationalize.
So the boss is saying that he's trying to rationalize. So that means, is he trying to make sense of it?
Well, this is an interesting psychological word.
Mm-hmm.
And when you rationalize something, you think about it or describe it, like especially some bad behavior, in a way that makes it seem better or proper or more sensible.
So you're trying to convince yourself.
Yeah, you're telling other people, but you're also telling yourself that it's better.
Okay. Or that you're right when you're actually wrong.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so he was trying to rationalize the fact that he missed the deadline. So he was trying to explain to the boss and also kind of make himself believe that it wasn't really his fault when it was.
Mm-hmm. Now, because this is a little bit of a difficult concept to understand, I think we should hear some examples.
Example 1.
You can't rationalize your son's behavior by saying he's going through a hard time.
Example 2.
As much as I tried, I couldn't rationalize buying such an expensive pair of shoes.
Example 3.
You know it was the wrong thing to do. Stop trying to rationalize it.
Okay, so clear as daylight now, this word rationalize.
All right, and our final word. So the boss really wasn't happy with these excuses, and he said, "No more phony excuses."
Okay, phony.
Phony.
Phony, phony.
So phony is basically false or fake.
Right, so a phony statement.
Mm-hmm. A phony watch.
Okay, a fake watch.
Yeah, not a Sony watch, but phony watch.
A phony. So a lot of great words in this dialogue, but as you mentioned, we also saw some very interesting phrases that we can use in situations like this. So why don't we start now with Fluency Builder?
Fluency Builder.
Well, you know, one of the interesting things about English is that we have a lot of ways to make things sound more direct, less direct, harder or softer. And in this dialogue, there were a few examples of how we use softening words to do the opposite, to actually make it a little strong.
Okay, so why don't we start with the first paragraph? In the first part of the dialogue, he said you missed a fairly significant deadline.
A fairly significant deadline.
Now, this word fairly.
Kind of, sort of.
So it's not very significant, it's kind of significant.
Yeah.
But in this context, when the person is saying it, it just sounds a little bit softer, but your understanding is...
It's a very important deadline.
Okay, a very important deadline.
So another similar example of this is the boss was saying, "You're essentially blaming the tech team."
Okay, you're essentially blaming.
So essentially is like basically or pretty much. So it sounds a little softer, but what he's actually really saying is, you're doing this.
Right. So instead of saying you're blaming the tech team, he adds this word essentially to kind of say, well, basically you're saying it's their fault.
Yeah.
But the context, or you understand that it's actually very direct, and he's saying it's your fault.
Yeah, so he's saying you're almost blaming the tech team, but what he means is you're blaming the tech team.
Mm-hmm. Now, our third phrase is very interesting because it's kind of like a saying.
That's right. So the employee says, "I'm not trying to pass the buck here."
I'm not trying to pass the buck here.
I'm not trying to pass the buck.
Now, what's the buck?
$1 bill.
$1 bill. So we'll understand that he's saying, I'm not trying to blame somebody else or pass the blame on to someone else.
Mm-hmm. But you can think about it like this. Like imagine he had some fake or phony money, right? And he wants to pass that on to the next person so he doesn't get in trouble.
Okay.
So I'm not trying to pass the buck. I'm not trying to pass the blame, put the responsibility on someone else.
Very good.
But you know what? You know what he really means here?
What?
I am trying to do this.
Because he knew, he knew that it was a fake dollar bill.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the fourth one is interesting as well because it's kind of like a metaphor. The boss said, you're using these small technical glitches as a crutch.
So using something as a crutch.
Now, the crutch is a...
You know when you break your leg, you use those wooden or metal sticks to walk with?
Okay, to help you walk.
Yeah.
So the boss is basically saying you're using these technical glitches as an excuse or as an aid to why you missed the deadline.
Yeah, so if you think about it like this, some people might say, okay, if you walk with a crutch, then you won't succeed, right? Because whatever. So this employee is basically saying, yes, I know that I should meet deadlines, but these problems, these glitches are like my crutch that make me not succeed.
Okay, so he's trying to just make excuses, basically.
So, God, Marco, that was a little bit difficult to understand. Do you think we should give a couple more examples?
Yeah, I think some more examples would be very useful, so let's listen to a couple of them now.
Example 1.
I realized that I was using alcohol as a crutch to get through the day.
Example 2.
I think Bill's very capable of being successful, but he uses his disability as a crutch.
Example 3.
Stop using your weight as a crutch. Just because you're a bit fat doesn't mean you can't get a great job.
All right, so a lot of great phrases, great words, and well, I think it's time for us to listen to this dialogue for the last time, and then we'll come back and talk about this aspect of meeting deadlines.
And so I just wanted to check in with you and find out where we are with this project. As you know, you missed a fairly significant deadline last week, and this will negatively impact the team's ability to move forward with the next stages of this project.
I know. I'm really sorry that I missed the deadline, but really, it wasn't my fault. You see, we had all of these unexpected technical problems at the last minute, and I couldn't get into the database and extract the kind of information that I needed for the data analysis. You know, if the tech guys would have done their job and kept the CRM stable, then I wouldn't have missed my deadline.
Oh, come on. An excuse like that is tantamount to lying. You're essentially blaming the tech team for your time management issues rather than accepting responsibility for the fact that you were procrastinating for the past 2 weeks.
No, I'm not trying to pass the buck here. I know it was me who was ultimately responsible for getting this done, but the thing is, I could have finished on time if the system hadn't gone down. And you know, with everything I've got going on now, I can't afford to waste time dealing with technical problems. I've got a lot on my plate, and there are only 24 hours in a day.
I'm not going to accept this excuse. You're using these small technical glitches as a crutch and trying to rationalize the fact that you've missed your deadline. Look, we have standards, and I expect you to live up to those standards. No more phony excuses. If you're in over your head, you tell me. No more missed deadlines. Now, I want that data on my desk by 9 a.m.
This employee got in a lot of trouble for missing his deadline.
Exactly. I think it's a very important aspect of not only Western culture, but also in general, assuming guilt when it's your fault.
Yeah.
In this case, we saw that the employee didn't really want to accept the fact that it was his fault.
Yeah, he didn't say, yeah, I know it was me, I'm sorry, and this is my plan to fix it.
Now, this is very important among cultures because in some cultures, the aspect of losing face is so important, right?
Right.
So somebody may not really want to assume guilt, or they have to because it's part of the culture.
But what's the standard in North American business practice?
I would say that you would have to assume responsibility and take responsibility for your actions, right? And say, yes, it's my fault, I did it, but I'm gonna get it fixed, or I'll do it, or I'll make up for it.
So some good business tips here today in this lesson. Now, remember, if you have any questions about the language or want to tell us a little bit about how you assume responsibility in your culture, visit our website at englishpod.com.
Right, we're always there to help you out, and until next time.
Thanks for listening, and goodbye.
The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word. Same as, equivalent to.
Tantamount.
Later than expected.
Behind schedule.
Very important or very relevant.
Fairly significant.
The action of delaying one's work.
Procrastination.
In essence, basically.
Essentially.
To create an untrue story.
Fabricate.
Used to indicate you justify failure with excuses.
As a crutch.
To give the reasons why you did something wrong.
Justify.
To explain bad behavior in a way that falsely makes it seem proper or better.
Rationalize.
The quality of being late often.
Tardiness.
To have an effect on something.
Impact.
Continue, go on.
Move forward.
Coming without warning.
Unexpected.
At the last moment.
Last minute.
Leave tasks or duties for a later time.
Procrastinate.
Blame someone else. Pass on the responsibility.
Pass the buck.
At last, in the end, eventually.
Ultimately.
Another way of saying I have many things to do.
On my plate.
Not true. Fake or false.
Phony.
Too much to handle.
In over your head.
Let's try that faster. To give the reasons why you did something wrong.
Justify.
Too much to handle.
In over your head.
Later than expected.
Behind schedule.
Another way of saying I have many things to do.
On my plate.
To explain bad behavior in a way that falsely makes it seem proper or better.
Rationalize.
Leave tasks or duties for a later time.
Procrastinate.
Not true. Fake or false.
Phony.
Same as, equivalent to.
Tantamount.
At last, in the end, eventually.
Ultimately.
Very important or very relevant.
Fairly significant.
The action of delaying one's work.
Procrastination.
At the last moment.
Last minute.
To have an effect on something.
Impact.
In essence, basically.
Essentially.
Continue, go on.
Move forward.
Used to indicate you justify failure with excuses.
As a crutch.
Coming without warning.
Unexpected.
Blame someone else. Pass on the responsibility.
Pass the buck.
The quality of being late often.
Tardiness.
To create an untrue story.
Fabricate.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Tantamount. Not telling me everything is tantamount to lying. Tantamount. The way you request things is tantamount to a demand. Be more polite. Tantamount. The president's words were so harsh that they were tantamount to a declaration of war. Fairly significant. There is a fairly significant amount of money in that bank account. Fairly significant. There is a fairly significant chance that you will get the scholarship. Fairly significant. The president talked about how fairly significant economic growth is expected this year. Essentially. By not believing what I'm saying, you are essentially calling me a liar. Essentially. The company is essentially laying people off in order to reduce costs. Essentially. Carl essentially told his boss that if he doesn't get a raise, he's going to quit. As a crutch. I realized that I was using alcohol as a crutch to get through the day. As a crutch. I think Bill's very capable of being successful, but he uses his disability as a crutch. As a crutch. Stop using your weight as a crutch. Just because you're a bit fat doesn't mean you can't get a great job. Rationalize. You can't rationalize your son's behavior by saying he's going through a hard time. Rationalize. As much as I tried, I couldn't rationalize buying such an expensive pair of shoes. Rationalize. You know it was the wrong thing to do, so stop trying to rationalize.
Hello, English learners. Welcome back to English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
And today we have another romantic lesson. Kind of romantic.
A little romantic. We got a boyfriend and a girlfriend, and they're apologizing to each other.
Okay, so it's a very common situation, and we're going to be talking about love. We're also going to talk about different pet names that are commonly used in English.
That are used with your boyfriend or girlfriend.
Okay, very good. So let's listen to this dialogue for the first time and see what's happening with our couple.
Can we talk?
Sure, honey. We're talking now, aren't we?
You know what I mean.
Yeah, I know.
I want to know where this relationship is going. I'm in love with you, and I need to know...
You know, I think you're awesome.
I'm awesome. Well, I guess that's my answer, isn't it?
Honey.
Look, if you don't love me, it's not a thing, all right? We've had our laughs, but I don't appreciate... Well, maybe it's just time we...
Baby, I love you so much.
You do?
I love you, and I think you're awesome.
Oh, I love you too.
Come on, put the gun down.
Oh, baby. I'm so sorry.
Okay, Okay, so romantic and dramatic.
Yeah, I think she really needed to hear that. Right, so I think she really wanted to hear I love you.
Yeah, that's right. And there's some interesting phrases here in this dialogue. And today we're going to focus mostly on phrases. So why don't we start with Fluency Builder?
Fluency Builder.
Okay, on Fluency Builder today, we are going to take a look at some of these phrases. And the first one is very important and very different.
So obviously this dialogue is about love, and we heard two different ways that this word is used. And the first one is to love someone.
Right, so he said, I love you.
Yeah, I love you.
We all pretty much understand what that means.
Right, but they also mentioned to be in love with someone.
Okay, so he said, I am in love with you.
I'm in love with you.
In love.
Okay, so what's the difference between to love and to be in love?
To be in love with someone means that you have these strong romantic feelings towards somebody.
That's right. So you can only be in love with your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, or your wife.
So you can love your parents, you can love your family, but you can't be in love with them. You can only be in love with your girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife.
That's right.
Okay.
So moving on to the next phrase. Now, the girl asked her boyfriend, can we talk?
Can we talk?
Can we talk?
This is a very simple sentence.
Right, we know the meaning, right?
But why does she say, can we talk?
Okay, so you use this when you want to start a conversation about something serious.
Okay, so if you wanted to talk to me about my new shirt.
I wouldn't say, hey, Marco, can we talk? Oh, I really like your shirt. Where'd you get it?
Exactly, right?
It has to be serious.
It has to be serious. So usually, if somebody says, hey, can we talk? It means that there's going to be a serious topic.
Yeah, it's going to be probably bad news.
Maybe bad news.
Yeah.
So, can we talk? So, if your boyfriend or girlfriend tells you this, well, it's not a good sign.
That's right.
All right, and the last phrase that we have on Fluency Builder. You know what I mean.
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 All right, so again, this phrase is very simple to understand, right?
That's right.
So you know what I'm talking about.
You understand me.
But the interesting thing is that we can also make it a question.
And it's all about the change in tone.
Okay, so with this in mind, let's listen to two examples of the same phrase, but with different tones. And you try to see which one is the question.
Example 1.
I'm tired of doing nothing all day here at home. You know what I mean?
Example 2.
Come on, Charles. You know what I mean when I say that I don't like your friends.
Example 3.
I hate this class. It's so boring and tedious. You know what I mean?
All right, so we heard the examples and, well, maybe you guessed it right. The second example was the question.
That's right. You know what I mean?
Right. So basically, you're asking the person if they understand your idea or they understand what you're talking about. So maybe you can say, so the professor wasn't very clear on his instructions, so how was I supposed to do the homework? You know what I mean?
So you're asking me to confirm that I understand you.
My idea. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay, and if it was a statement, I might say, hey, I don't like going to your mom's house.
So I would say, what? What do you mean? Why?
You know what I mean.
Right. So I perfectly understand or know the reasons why you don't like going to my mom's house.
I don't have to tell you. You know what I mean.
All right. Very good. So you know what I mean. Great. So we've taken a look at these 4 phrases. They're very simple, but the way that you use them gives them different meanings.
That's right.
All right, so let's listen to our dialogue for the second time. Let's slow it down a little bit, and then we'll come back and look at some more phrases.
Can we talk?
Sure, honey. We're talking now, aren't we?
You know what I mean.
Yeah, I know.
I want to know where this relationship is going. I'm in love with you, and I need to know...
You know, I think you're awesome.
I'm awesome. Well, I guess that's my answer, isn't it?
Honey.
Look, if you don't love me, it's not a thing, all right? We've had our laughs, but I don't appreciate... Well, Maybe it's just time we...
Baby, I love you so much.
You do?
I love you, and I think you're awesome.
Oh, I love you too.
Come on, put the gun down.
Oh, baby. I'm so sorry.
Okay, so now it's time for us to take a look at some more phrases, but this time we're going to look at them in putting it together.
Putting it together.
Okay, we're going to see how we can use these phrases in a few different situations. So the girl wanted to talk to her boyfriend because she wanted to know where this relationship is going.
Right. Where is this relationship going?
Where is this relationship going?
So she wants to know what's going to happen, or
What's the future?
What's the future of this relationship?
Yep.
Are we going to get married? Are we
Yep.
just what's happening?
Yep.
So why don't we listen to some examples with different nouns and how we can use this phrase?
Example 1.
I don't know where my career is going in this company. I don't see any potential for growth.
Example 2.
This movie is so confusing. I have no idea where the plot is going.
Example 3.
We have been in this meeting for over 2 hours and I still don't know where it's going.
Okay, so again, this phrase is just asking about the future of something.
Right. So where the future of this movie? Where is this movie going?
Yeah, what's happening?
Right. What's going to happen?
Yep.
Or your career, etc.
Yep. Okay, and so the girl, she was talking a little bit about her feelings, and she said, maybe it's just time we...
Okay, so this phrase isn't complete yet.
Yeah.
We need to finish it.
Yeah.
But she is basically saying, maybe we should do this.
Mm-hmm.
How can we finish the phrase?
All right, so she could say, maybe it's just time we break up.
All right. Or I can say, maybe it's time we have a baby.
Ooh, Marco.
All
or
right.
even, maybe it's time we go home.
Okay, so it's getting late. Let's go home. Maybe
Yeah.
it's time we go home.
Yeah.
So this is how we can finish this phrase. And what about our last phrase?
So she also said, we've had our laughs.
Okay, so that means we've had our good times.
Yep.
Okay.
But we can change this to, we've had our ups and downs.
Okay, or we've had our moments. Mm-hmm. Right? So that means we've had our good moments and our bad moments.
That's right. Or we've had our issues.
Okay, so that means we've had some problems,
Yeah.
we've had some difficulties.
Or even we've had our moments.
Okay, so that means we've had... what
Special
does that mean?
times.
Yeah. So that means we've had our special times, special occasions
Yep.
that we will always remember.
That's right.
Okay.
So three really useful structures that you can change the words a little bit to slightly change the meaning.
Okay, so it's time for us to listen to our dialogue for the last time. Now we're ready to understand everything. And then we'll come back and give you some examples of pet names in English.
Can we talk?
Sure, honey. We're talking now, aren't we?
You know what I mean.
Yeah, I know.
I want to know where this relationship is going. I'm in love with you, and I need to know...
You know, I think you're awesome.
I'm awesome. Well, I guess that's my answer, isn't it?
Honey.
Look, if you don't love me, it's not a thing, all right? We've had our laughs, but I don't appreciate... Well, maybe it's just time we...
Baby, I love you so much.
You do?
I love you, and I think you're awesome.
Oh, I love you too.
Come on, put the gun down.
Oh, baby. I'm so sorry.
All right, well, Marco, you mentioned this word pet names. And what exactly is that?
All right, so pet names aren't names for your dogs or your cats,
Okay,
right?
right.
They are those sweet names that you would call your boyfriend or girlfriend.
Okay, so like baby,
Okay, in our dialogue, we heard baby.
Yep.
Right? So we're not talking about a little
child.
no.
Yep.
This is usually how you would call maybe your girlfriend or boyfriend. Baby.
Or honey.
Honey, right?
Yep.
Hey, honey, or honey, I'm home.
Yep.
Right? But we also have other ones like sweetheart. Or
Darling.
darling.
Yeah.
Or what about sweetie? Or cutie.
Cutie. Oh.
So some of these phrases can be a little bit like cheesy, maybe
A little too sweet.
too much.
Yeah.
Like smookums.
Snookums.
Snookums. Like snookums.
Okay.
Or honey bunny.
Oh, yeah.
We also have sweetie pie.
Yep.
Yeah. And some of them will make some up, right? Maybe they'll call their boyfriend Pooh Bear.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, like Winnie the Pooh,
Yeah.
Pooh Bear.
I heard dumpling is a common one.
Also, it could be, you can make up your own phrase. You can make up your own pet names, right?
Yeah. So I want to hear from our listeners. Are there any common pet names in your language?
I know that in Spanish, we sometimes call we can sometimes call our girlfriend gorda, which
Okay.
actually means fat. But it's not in a bad way.
Really?
It's a sweet way of calling your girlfriend. So.
And I know in French you can say ma puce, which basically means my flea.
Apologizing. The importance of apologizing. Apologizing is an important part of communication and relationships. Everyone makes mistakes, and sometimes our words or actions hurt others. When this happens, saying sorry helps to repair the situation. An apology shows that we understand what we did wrong, and that we care about the other person's feelings. Without apologies, misunderstandings and conflicts can grow, making relationships weaker. A sincere apology can bring people closer together. When someone apologizes, it shows that they take responsibility for their actions. It also helps to rebuild trust. If a friend forgets an important event, they can apologize and explain what happened. If a coworker makes a mistake at work, they can apologize and find a way to fix the problem. In families, apologies help parents, children, siblings, and relatives understand each other better. Apologizing is not just about saying the words, "I'm sorry." A real apology includes understanding, regret, and a promise to do better in the future. If someone is late for an important meeting, just saying sorry may not be enough. They need to explain why they were late and show that they respect the other person's time. A good apology includes both words and actions. In different cultures, the way people apologize can be different. In some places, people use very polite words and formal language when apologizing. In other places, people may apologize with simple words or a small gesture, like giving a gift or writing a note. No matter the culture, the meaning of an apology is the same. It is a way to show respect and care for others. For English learners, knowing how to apologize in different situations is very useful. There are many ways to say sorry, from formal expressions, like "I sincerely apologize," to casual ones, like "I'm really sorry." Learning how to apologize correctly helps in daily conversations, professional settings, and personal relationships. It makes communication smoother and helps avoid misunderstandings. A true apology is powerful. It can turn anger into understanding and repair broken relationships. When people apologize sincerely, they create a more positive and respectful environment. Whether in friendships, families, workplaces, or social situations, the ability to apologize well is an important skill for everyone. How to apologize sincerely. Apologizing is more than just saying the words, "I'm sorry." A sincere apology has several important parts. The first step is understanding what went wrong. Before apologizing, it is important to think about the situation. What happened? Why is the other person upset? If we do not understand our mistake, our apology may not feel real. A person who apologizes without understanding their mistake may sound insincere. After understanding the mistake, the next step is taking responsibility. A good apology is honest. Instead of making excuses, it is better to accept the mistake. For example, if someone forgot to call a friend on their birthday, they should not say, "I was busy," but "You should have reminded me." Instead, they should say, "I should have remembered your birthday. I feel bad for forgetting. I'm really sorry." Taking responsibility makes the apology stronger and more meaningful. A good apology also includes an expression of regret. Regret means feeling bad about what happened and showing that we care about the other person's feelings. Phrases like "I feel terrible about this" or "I regret hurting you" show that the apology is real. When we express regret, We help the other person see that we understand their feelings. This can make them more open to forgiving us. Another important part of an apology is offering to make things right. Sometimes saying sorry is not enough. If someone accidentally damages a friend's book, they can offer to replace it. If a coworker makes a mistake in a project, they can offer to fix the problem. Actions speak louder than words, and showing a willingness to correct a mistake proves that the apology is serious. A good apology also includes a promise to do better in the future. If someone is always late, saying sorry each time is not enough. They need to promise to change their behavior. They could say, "I know I have been late many times, and I will try harder to be on time." This shows that the apology is not just words, but also a commitment to improving. Tone and body language are also important when apologizing. If a person says sorry in a cold voice, it does not feel sincere. A good apology should be warm and genuine, making eye contact, speaking in a soft tone, and showing concern through facial expressions can make the apology more believable. Writing an apology letter or sending a message can also be helpful, especially when emotions are too strong for a face-to-face conversation. Sometimes an apology is not accepted immediately. When people are hurt, they may need time to forgive. It is important to be patient. Instead of demanding forgiveness, it is better to say, "I understand if you are still upset, but I truly regret what happened." Giving the other person time and space can help them process their emotions and eventually accept the apology. In some situations, people apologize even when they are not at fault, just to maintain peace. This is common in workplaces, friendships, and relationships. However, apologizing should always be genuine. Saying sorry when we have not done anything wrong can sometimes create confusion or make us feel uncomfortable. A better way to handle such situations is to acknowledge the other person's feelings without admitting to a mistake that we did not make. Apologizing is a skill that improves with practice. By learning different ways to say sorry and understanding when and how to apologize, people can build stronger, healthier relationships. A sincere apology does not just repair a mistake, it also shows kindness, responsibility, and emotional intelligence. Whether in personal or professional life, knowing how to apologize well is an important part of effective communication. Apologizing between a boyfriend and a girlfriend. In romantic relationships, misunderstandings and mistakes happen. Even in the strongest relationships, couples argue, disagree, or accidentally hurt each other. Apologizing is an important part of maintaining a healthy and loving relationship. When a boyfriend and a girlfriend apologize to each other, it is not just about saying "I'm sorry," but about understanding, trust, and emotional connection. In a relationship, emotions are often strong. When one person makes a mistake, the other might feel hurt, disappointed, or even angry. This is why apologizing in a romantic relationship can be more difficult than apologizing to a friend or a coworker. The apology needs to show care, love, and a real effort to make things better. Simply saying "I'm sorry" without showing true regret may not be enough. One of the most important things in a relationship is communication. When a boyfriend and a girlfriend have a problem, they need to talk about it openly. Instead of just apologizing quickly to end an argument, they should take time to discuss what went wrong. Listening is just as important as speaking. If one person is hurt, the other should listen carefully and try to understand their feelings before apologizing. The words used in an apology matter. Saying "I'm sorry you feel that way" is not a real apology because it does not take responsibility. A better way to apologize is to say, "I realize that what I did hurt you, and I feel terrible about it. I never wanted to make you feel this way." This kind of apology shows understanding and care. It helps the other person feel heard and respected. Sometimes, actions are more powerful than words. In relationships, small gestures can help show sincerity. If a boyfriend forgets an important date, He can apologize and then plan something special to make it up. If a girlfriend says something hurtful, she can not only apologize, but also do something kind to show she truly cares. These actions help rebuild trust and strengthen the relationship. Apologizing should never be about winning or losing. Sometimes couples argue and both people feel hurt. In these situations, both should be willing to apologize. A relationship is not a competition. Both people should support each other. If only one person apologizes every time, the relationship can become unbalanced. Both partners should take responsibility for their actions and be willing to admit when they are wrong. Timing is also important. If one person is very upset, apologizing immediately may not work because emotions are too high. Giving the other person time to calm down can make the conversation more productive. A sincere apology given at the right time is more effective than a rushed apology given in the middle of an argument. Trust is an important part of any relationship. If one person keeps making the same mistake and apologizing without changing, their words lose meaning. A real apology should come with a promise to improve. For example, if a boyfriend always cancels plans at the last minute, he should not just say, "I'm sorry." He should also say, "I know I have done this before, and I will make sure it does not happen again." Showing that they are willing to change helps rebuild trust. In long-term relationships, small problems can become big issues if they are not addressed. This is why regular communication and sincere apologies are necessary. When couples apologize and forgive each other, they create a stronger bond. Apologizing does not mean weakness. It means caring about the relationship more than the argument. Love and respect are the foundation of a good relationship. Saying sorry is one way to show that love and respect. A sincere apology can heal wounds, bring people closer, and make the relationship even stronger. Every couple experiences challenges, but those who know how to apologize and forgive each other can build a relationship that lasts. The power of forgiveness and moving forward. Apologizing is only one part of the process. After an apology, the next step is forgiveness and moving forward. If an apology is sincere, it can help repair relationships, but forgiveness is what truly strengthens them. Holding on to anger, even after an apology, can create distance between people. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting the mistake or pretending it did not happen. It means choosing to let go of the pain and allowing the relationship to heal. Forgiving someone can be difficult, especially when the mistake is painful. Some apologies are easy to accept, like when a friend forgets to call or a coworker arrives late. But other mistakes, like betrayal, dishonesty, or repeated hurtful actions, are much harder to forgive. In these situations, time is necessary. The person who is hurt needs space to process their emotions before they can forgive. A forced or rushed forgiveness is not real and will not help the relationship in the long run. In a romantic relationship, forgiveness is especially important. Couples who stay together for a long time learn to forgive each other often. No one is perfect, and mistakes will happen. If a boyfriend and a girlfriend cannot forgive each other, small problems can turn into big ones. However, forgiveness should not be one-sided. If one person is always apologizing and the other never admits their mistakes, the relationship becomes unbalanced. Both people need to take responsibility when they are wrong. Trust plays a big role in forgiveness. If someone apologizes but keeps repeating the same mistake, their words lose meaning. Saying sorry is not enough if there is no change. If a girlfriend apologizes for not listening but continues to ignore her boyfriend's feelings, he may not believe her apologies anymore. If a boyfriend apologizes for breaking a promise but continues to do it, his girlfriend may feel like his words are empty. A real apology includes action. It means working to fix the problem so that it does not happen again. Forgiveness is also important in friendships. Friends argue, misunderstand each other, and sometimes say things they do not mean. A strong friendship is not one where no mistakes happen, but one where both people can apologize and forgive. Holding on to anger can destroy a friendship. A simple but sincere apology can bring two friends closer together. In families, forgiveness is also necessary. Parents and children, siblings and relatives all have disagreements. Sometimes emotions are strong, and words are said in anger. Apologizing in a family can be difficult because people see each other every day, but an apology in a family can also be one of the most meaningful. It shows love and respect, even after a disagreement. A parent who apologizes to a child teaches them the importance of taking responsibility. A child who apologizes to their parents shows maturity. Forgiveness does not mean that everything goes back to normal immediately. Healing takes time. If someone is deeply hurt, they may need time to trust again. That is why a sincere apology should come with patience. It is important to allow the person who is hurt to process their emotions. Rushing forgiveness can make things worse. Sometimes people expect an apology but never receive one. Not everyone is willing to admit their mistakes. In these cases, forgiveness is still possible. Letting go of anger does not mean accepting bad behavior. It means choosing to move on for personal peace. Holding on to resentment only causes more pain. Choosing to forgive, even without an apology, can bring a sense of freedom and emotional healing. Learning how to apologize and forgive is a skill that improves over time. It helps build strong relationships, whether in friendships, families, or romantic partnerships. When people apologize sincerely and forgive genuinely, they create an environment of trust and understanding. Every relationship will face challenges, but those who learn to apologize and forgive will be able to overcome them. Apologizing and forgiving are acts of kindness, not just for the other person, but also for ourselves. A sincere apology can fix a broken relationship, and true forgiveness can heal a wounded heart. When people learn to say, "I'm sorry" with honesty, and "I forgive you" with sincerity, they build stronger connections and create a more positive and understanding world. Apologizing and forgiveness, a key to strong relationships. Apologizing is a fundamental part of human relationships, whether between friends, family members, or romantic partners. Knowing how to say sorry and how to accept an apology helps maintain and strengthen connections. However, apologizing is more than just saying the words, "I'm sorry." It requires sincerity, understanding, and often a change in behavior. A well-expressed apology can mend broken trust, ease tension, and bring people closer. Many people find apologizing difficult. Admitting a mistake can feel uncomfortable, especially when pride or fear of rejection is involved. However, taking responsibility for an action is a sign of maturity and emotional intelligence. A genuine apology should not include excuses or blame. Instead, it should focus on acknowledging the mistake, expressing regret, and making an effort to repair the damage. In relationships, whether romantic or otherwise, apologizing plays a crucial role. Couples who learn to apologize to each other build stronger and healthier relationships. Every relationship has conflicts, and misunderstandings are inevitable. However, when two people are willing to apologize and forgive, their bond becomes more resilient. Apologizing in a romantic relationship should be done with care, considering the feelings of the other person. Small conflicts can turn into big problems if they are not addressed with sincerity. A boyfriend who forgets an important date or a girlfriend who says something hurtful in anger should both be willing to say sorry in a meaningful way. An apology followed by a positive change in behavior shows that the person is truly sorry and values the relationship. Apologizing is also vital in friendships. Friends argue, disagree, and sometimes hurt each other unintentionally. A strong friendship does not mean never having problems. It means knowing how to resolve them. A sincere apology can prevent a small argument from destroying a friendship. True friends understand that mistakes happen, but taking responsibility for those mistakes shows respect and care for the relationship. Family relationships also benefit greatly from apologies. Parents and children, siblings, and relatives often experience conflicts, whether small or significant. Apologizing within a family can sometimes be difficult, especially when emotions are strong. However, an apology within a family carries deep meaning because it reassures love and respect. A parent who apologizes to a child teaches an important lesson about responsibility, and a child who apologizes to their parents demonstrates growth and maturity. Apologies in families help create a peaceful and understanding environment. While apologizing is essential, so is forgiveness. Without forgiveness, an apology loses its power. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting what happened or pretending it did not hurt. Instead, it means choosing to let go of anger and resentment. Forgiving someone can be challenging, especially when the mistake was painful. However, holding on to negative emotions can cause more harm than good. Letting go of past mistakes allows relationships to heal and move forward. Trust plays a crucial role in forgiveness. If someone repeatedly apologizes for the same mistake, but does not change their behavior, their words become meaningless. A sincere apology must be followed by a genuine effort to improve. If a friend always cancels plans but keeps apologizing without changing their actions, their apology may no longer feel sincere. Similarly, in romantic relationships, if one partner keeps breaking promises and apologizing without any change, trust can be broken. Actions must support words for an apology to be effective. Some people find it difficult to forgive, even when an apology is given. In some cases, time is needed before forgiveness can be offered. If an apology is sincere, but the hurt is deep, the person who was wronged may need space to heal. Rushing forgiveness can sometimes make things worse. It is important to allow emotions to settle before fully moving on. However, there are times when an apology is never given. Some people refuse to admit their mistakes, leaving the other person feeling hurt and frustrated. In these situations, forgiveness is still possible. Letting go of resentment does not mean accepting bad behavior, but rather choosing to move forward without allowing anger to control one's emotions. Forgiving without receiving an apology is a personal decision that brings inner peace. Apologizing and forgiveness are skills that improve over time. They help build strong relationships and create an environment of trust and understanding. Those who learn to apologize sincerely and forgive genuinely will have healthier, happier connections with others. In the end, both apologizing and forgiving are acts of kindness, not just for others, but for ourselves. A heartfelt apology can mend broken relationships, and true forgiveness can bring emotional healing. When people learn to say, "I'm sorry" with honesty, and "I forgive you" with sincerity, they build stronger connections and contribute to a more understanding and compassionate world.
The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word.
End a relationship with someone.
Dump someone.
Hurt someone's feelings very badly. Hurt someone emotionally.
Break someone's heart.
Honest, emotional talk.
A heart-to-heart.
Former boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, or wife.
Ex.
A person who you are in a long-term relationship with.
Partner.
Phrase used if one must talk about serious things.
Can we talk?
What stage this relationship is in.
Where this relationship is going.
Feel strong romantic affection for someone.
In love with.
Amazing. Great.
Awesome.
We have experienced our happy days.
We have had our laughs.
Don't like.
Don't appreciate.
Have strong affection to someone.
Love.
Perhaps it is time for us to do something.
Maybe it is time that we.
Let's try that faster.
End a relationship with someone.
Dump someone.
We have experienced our happy days.
We have had our laughs.
Former boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, or wife.
Ex.
Phrase used if one must talk about serious things.
Can we talk?
Have strong affection to someone.
Love.
Amazing. Great.
Awesome.
Feel strong romantic affection for someone.
In love with.
What stage this relationship is in.
Where this relationship is going.
A person who you are in a long-term relationship with.
Partner.
Honest, emotional talk.
A heart to heart.
Don't like.
Don't appreciate.
Perhaps it is time for us to do something.
Maybe it is time that we.
Hurt someone's feelings very badly. Hurt someone emotionally.
Break someone's heart.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Can we talk?
I've got something really important to tell you. Can we talk?
Can we talk?
Can we talk? I think I'm in love with someone else.
Can we talk?
Can we talk? I need your help with something.
Where this relationship is going.
We fight every day. I don't know where this relationship is going.
Where this relationship is going.
Where is this movie going? I don't understand what's happening.
Where this relationship is going.
You want to do what? Where are you going with this conversation?
We have had our laughs.
College was so much fun. We definitely had our laughs.
We have had our laughs.
She has her moments, but for the most part, she's a really nice girl.
We have had our laughs.
You had your fun. Now it's time to go to sleep.
Maybe it is time that we.
It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Maybe it's time we have some lunch?
Maybe it is time that we.
If you're not happy at your job, maybe it's just time for you to quit.
Maybe it is time that we.
Maybe it's about time you clean your room. It's so dirty. Baby, I love you so much. Where would you like to eat, sweetheart? Darling, you look absolutely beautiful.